peace and blessings. I am Phoe Nix of Phoenix-Ism, and today I have decided that I want to speak to you all just so that you all know who I am, what I'm about, and the mission that has been placed within my hands. So again, my name is Phoe Nix, and I am the creatress of Phoenix-Ism.com. So that would be Phoenix-Ism.com. And I've tried many avenues to give of myself, the things that I create, the gifts that are given to me to manifest and give to you all. And I realized that in doing all of this, you have to be authentically you. So that's from start to bottom. That's inside and out, through and through. You have to ooze yourself, and you have to be as transparent as possible, because this thing that is within you, that is creating your reality, that is manifesting these wonderful gifts within you, you have to show that this in fact truly is something divine within yourself, not something that has become social proofing. Social proofing, for those who don't know, is when something becomes a trend. And in this aspect, as far as business, as far as spirituality, as far as the gifts within you, there are many names and many titles for these things. And what we have to realize is that we are not these titles. These titles do not make us who we are. We are, in fact, who we are. So that is the purpose of this video, to simply show you who I am. So I'm going to be as transparent as possible, as transparent as I've always been. Those of you who follow me on Facebook and Instagram know that I do not hide anything. What you see is truly what you get when it comes to Phoenix. So let's step back. Let's step back and give some history on where this came from, where Phoenix-Ism came from, and how I began to do what I do. About 10 years ago, I began to question, as I always have, especially as a little girl. Nothing never stuck with me unless I got an answer. And so about 10 years ago, or even longer, I began soul searching. I began asking more questions, but at this time in my life, my questions were not of what's going on today. My questions were the origins. Where did it begin? And with asking myself all of these questions, because at that time in my life, I realized speaking out into the sky wasn't helping. Speaking out into the sky just didn't give me answers. It gave me that which was written. And when I say that, I'm referring to Christian teachings. And I grew up pretty much in the church via my aunties. They always took me to church to sing and to praise dance, but I found that there were other things, other gifts developing in me besides those things on the surface that makes your church experience fun. It was the fact that my intuition started to kick in, and things that the preacher was saying just wasn't sticking to me, and things that other preachers, evangelists, and things like that just weren't sticking with me, and they weren't sitting well with me. Understanding that at that time, this is scripture and this is supposed to be the word of God. So I began to question that. And in questioning that, I found that the Bible became more of a tool for me, as opposed to concrete evidence of my Creator. And I say my Creator. So as I began to take those stories and apply them to myself, I came to a place where I started to value myself more. I started to love myself more because I began to realize that the answer to all these questions that I've had were inside of me all along. And the thing that was stopping me from tapping into that and understanding that magic, that power, that gift is inside of me was the fact that I was giving all of the credit, all of the honor and respect to something outside of myself. Now, don't get me wrong. I firmly and strongly believe there is a creator, and I do reverence and honor that creator. But I also reverence and honor the creator within myself. I always tell people that if you're going to believe in something, why not believe in yourself? And at that moment in my life when I realized that it was within all along, I was searching in the wrong places. It was here inside of me. My whole life changed. My whole life changed. I do still have faith in some prophets, some teachers who will teach that same thing that the Christ in the Bible said, that these things that I do, you can do greater. If you really, really take these teachings and apply them to yourself, as opposed to, back then in the day, Paul, Jacob, Job, as opposed to giving it to them, give it to yourself. Realize how powerful you are. And so we have this gift of resurgence or regeneration, and many of us don't realize that either. And that is what Phoenix-Ism is. Now, there is a politically correct definition, which has something to do with businesses, and it's pretty much the fact that some businesses will sense and know that they're getting ready to go belly up, and what they will do is move their assets prior to. This is just this business saving their gifts, saving that they work so hard for. So if you take that term and you bring it into the spiritual aspect and the spiritual realm of our being, this is pretty much what the symbol of the phoenix represents. Rebirth. Able to die of an old situation, die of your old self, and renew. And if you think about it also, this is in the Bible as well, with the resurrection of the Christ, as well as raising of Lazarus, or shedding away of your old self and becoming anew, being made new when the Christ returns. This is what this is. It is the exact same thing, but only in this stage in life, in my life, I am able to now put myself in that position and realize that, oh my gosh, I too have been born again, but not in the aspect of giving all of the praise and the honor and the glory to something outside of me. In this aspect, I can give myself some credit. I can give myself some honor. I can self-love on me. And so that's what I did. In doing that, I found several techniques of self-love. Just simply to reestablish the love you have for you. Just simply to finally embrace wholeheartedly, unconditionally, 100% who you are. There are keys to this. And one is acceptance of self. So what that sometimes in life you don't like yourself. Sometimes you do some things that they weren't the right things to do. and you feel guilty, and you sometimes beat yourself up because of this. Acceptance of what happened, how it happened, the outcome of its happening, the answer or correction. These are the things that you have to allow to come in and to accept, so that you can apply what needs to be applied to your life, so that this happening won't happen again. Or you take it, you learn from it, and you become grateful and even very, very ecstatic, happy that you've had the correction that you needed. That's real, like, self-love, when you can recognize the signs around you, when you can recognize that the birds and the type of bird in which it is that has come to sit in your presence, gain your attention, to whistle that sweet little song, is there to tell you, hey, you're doing good, or hey, keep an eye out on this, or that number you keep seeing, or as you're driving down the highway, you keep seeing that beautiful burnt orange color. What does it mean? Why am I so drawn to that color today? This is that element within you that is connected to nature, that speaks through to your soul. This is where your intuition kicks in, discernment. This is where you begin to get your answers from your higher self. This is where you begin to begin again. And that connection is so divine. Moving from California to Arkansas, and I was so determined. Something inside of me just kept telling me, this is it. This is it for you. You gotta do this. You have to do this. You have to make sure that not only yourself gets this change, but those who are around you gets this change. And at that time, that was my parents. And they're still here to this day. But as I'm driving, there were things that were happening. And I was fortunate enough to be connected divinely that I was able to catch those signs. And although I went through many avenues to get here, I still followed those signs that were given to me to get here today. So, Phoenix-Ism evolved from many different things. It evolved from tapping into a dark place within myself, where it's not bad at all. It's great to embrace the many sides of yourself, the many paradigms of yourself, the duality of yourself. And so I did. And what was interesting going through this dark phase was me being a Scorpio. This was something that was in me all along as well. So learning about the Calippo, which they call the mystical side of Kabbalism, and learning that these energies are here, have always been here, and will continue to be here. These energies are aspects of you, aspects of me. We all have moments when we tip the scale and we're angry, we're mad, we're depressed, we're sexual, we're joyous, we're elated. And what I had to realize was that these are all the same thing, just on a different scale of degrees. This is where my aunt's teachings come into play. When we realize that there has to be a balance in any and everything that we do. No matter where you come from, no matter where you're going, there still has to be a balance. So with going and tipping the scale in that direction, I was able to really see myself. See myself for who I really am. Not necessarily what I may have been trying to be, or what I was in fact trying to be. So I took a journey. My journey was a very secluded and intimate journey where I had to deal with some things about myself that were not fun. Fears and insecurities, doubts. And in that moment, I got a reality check. I didn't want to be here anymore. I felt that I had no reason to live in this realm of existence. And so I did. I took a handful of pills and ended up in the psych ward. Being in the psych ward actually helped me because I saw individuals who did not know how to control some of the wonderful things that was happening to them. They didn't look at it as something so wonderful, or I should say maybe the people around them didn't look at it as something so wonderful. There was a young man there that could sing his butt off. And I'm telling you, he had some major skill. He would get up every morning and he would sing to his heart's content. When he was done singing, he told everyone, "I know you." He said, "I know you. You're my cousin." That's exactly what he said. And him telling everyone that, you're my family, I realized that my actions cause reactions. And I have to realize that it's not just me in my little world. No, my world is in fact a web. And with me being a mother and a wife, a daughter, a sister, I actually am sometimes the center of that web. And so the things that I do impact those directly around me. And who is that? It's my children, my husband. And then that ripples off to my mother, my father, my sister, my brother, friends, just loved ones in general. And I tried to leave those who needed me the most. They say suicide is the most selfish thing that you can do. And at that moment, I realized why they said it. I didn't think about anyone else but myself. So something in me just snapped. And I had a jump start, a jolt right back, as if I was reborn again. In this rebirth, I saw my gifts. And I remember a dream that I had. So, in this dream, I was presented with splendors, wondrous things. And I took these wondrous things and I stashed them away. I kept them. And in my mind, I'm keeping them safe and secure. Nothing is going to happen to my wondrous things. And I would be all right. Well, after a while, those wondrous things begin to dim. And they weren't so bright anymore. And they weren't so wonderful anymore. So I pulled them out, cleaned them up. I set them out for others to see. I began to analyze them and wonder, and find out, I should say, why they were so wondrous. And as that began to happen, they began to start to shine again. They got their luster back. And they sparkled and they shined. And I woke up from that dream and I said, oh my gosh, I have to get back to nurturing my gifts. I have to get back to putting myself on my personal pedestal in a very humble way. And so I took time to research and study, and I self-taught myself pretty much about herbs and their importance in our life, about the way we eat, the foods we eat, where those foods come from, the things we use upon our skin and our hair, our lips and our eyes to beautify us. And I realized that a lot of things in this industry, although they come from nature, they become so tampered with that they serve us no good. So within my blog, Phoenix-Ism Speaks, I offer vegan recipes. And with researching for many, many years about the foods that we eat, the different body types, the metabolic types, or Ayurvedic types, I learned that we have to eat according to our bodies, our activities, our happenings, our doings, the things that we're doing and the things that we're not doing. Time went on and learning about all the botanicals and the cosmetics world and other things. I realized that my spirituality and my physical life don't have to be separate. They can be one and the same. I am a creator, so I have to create. And in doing that, I realized that that phoenix symbol is me. It has been me for all those years. I've always been drawn to the phoenix bird because of its beauty and its poetry. I release and I let go. And in releasing and letting go, I die of that which is old, so that I can rise again with new. That is not just me. That is many of us out there who go through things in life and can see the light on the other side of the tunnel, or are willing to go down to get to that point of incline so we can come up. This is us who learn from our mistakes. Sometimes we bump our head 2 and 3, 4, 5 times, but know the importance of getting back up again. Phoenix-Ism, the process of rebirth, of being born again. What is your Phoenix-Ism moment? Where is that place where you got to live again? You got to experience a situation again so that you can apply what you learned and make it something great. It feels good within my being this time because Phoenix-Ism is authentically me. I'm not here for the glitz and glam. I'm not here to be somebody something. No. I am here to finally fully give you what has been given to me. My gifts, the knowledge and wisdom bestowed upon me from my great ancestors, from my higher self, from the energies that aid, that guide, that directs, that helps, that assists. I am ever so happy to be able to give of myself in a way that helps, that aids, that heals, because I am a healer. I've had the opportunity to heal myself, to heal my mother, my husband, my children, some friends and some loved ones. And I tell you, the most beautiful thing about it is the fact that this healing includes the gifts from Mother Nature, from Pachamama, Gaia. I am able to take those wonderful things out there around us, those beautiful herbs, those beautiful flowers, the roots, and use them as they were intended to be used, to nurture, to heal, to restore. I'm pleased. I'm so pleased, and I'm so happy that I recognize the calling and created these products to help, to aid. And I hope that you feel that. I hope that you experience that. And I thank you. I thank you for being a supporter and becoming part of my tribe, my beloved. And in using that word, because we hear a lot of people say, oh, beloved, 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 beloved. I don't say beloved. I don't say beloved because that word is much more powerful to be merged together like that. That word is be loved. And that's all I want. I want you to be loved. So each and every day that I address you, that you see me post on social media, here and I say beloved, I mean it with all my heart. Not only from others, from yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself. Because that is the key to unlock the door of self-mastery. If you can't love yourself, you can't love others, and if you don't love yourself, then you won't take the time to heal you. Why? Because you are the creator of yourself. Look at where you are. Look at your life. The choices you make create your reality. So I choose this day and every day to love myself unconditionally. So you know what I do every day? I take care of myself. I love on myself. Tell myself in that mirror, my mirror talk, that you are wonderful and you are wonderfully adequate. And you are a divine creator. Get on up. Go get them products. Cleanse your body. Cleanse your faith. Cleanse your soul. And then you take it to the world. You got to tell yourself sometimes you have to be your support system, honey. It's not always those around you that's going to do it for you. You have to learn how to do it for yourself. And that's part of that self-love. So, You're getting a glimpse. You're seeing who I am. Am I someone that you can connect with? Am I someone that you can vibe with? If so, head over to phoenix-ism.com. Leave me a message. Subscribe to our page. And connect with me. Vibe with me. Become my sister. Become my brother. I'll be doing videos to help with developing your self-love, to help with honoring yourself and developing your own spirituality. These things are key to your evolution, your rebirths, and it's core. Because we're going to constantly do this, rise and fall. But it's what you do in that rise that counts. So I hope you guys can stay tuned, attuned, and follow my progress. Learn with me, explore with me. Alright. So thanks for watching. Gotta be a mama now. Peace and blessings be unto you. Ashe and namaste.